shedding over cocaine, Cali boy. Yes, cross the border. Innocent blood have been shedding over cocaine, Cali boy. And the uptown people can't see, so they never want you. But we there off it tell them the uptown people can't see, so they never want you. But none of them have it you said heads come up, hands a chop up. Things we are going to make your nice time pop off, Lord. Heads come up, hands with them a chop up. Oh, yes, yes, I saw the youth them drop off in a mass grave. Feel them burial, a mass grave. Feel them funeral, and the uptown said never see. Cross over the border in a pure misery, I have to tell them. We cross the border, innocent blood have been shedding over cocaine, Cali boy. Yes, cross the border, innocent blood have been shedding over cocaine, Cali boy. And why innocent blood are run up till night time? See they run around, poor people still a ball, blood for them all. When they get to find them small brother gone, them a get fit fine, say the whole look on them liquor sister gone, Lord. Hold on to the youth and all of them money have to send. Run round in a seven bag, which part the money lend, some money send. Yes, if you want to see the youth again, the money send. You meet again, you find them in a mass grave. Feel them burial, a mass grave. Feel them funeral, and the uptown said never see. Cross over the border in a pure misery, I have to tell them. We cross the border, innocent blood have been shedding over cocaine, Cali boy. Yes, cross the border, innocent blood have been shedding over cocaine, Cali boy. Yeah. Yes. What's up, y'all? Cheers to everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you all again. Ah, yes. Please hit the share button, hit the like buttons. We'll get this cracking. Hope y'all had a good week. Yes. Now that it's so long you've been away from me, long ways of life spent all in wandering. Somebody speaks to me of good things in due season. Although we're slow to move along to find a reason, if we can move together, then we found love forever. Together deal with love forever. Some days in trouble, early morning time, clouds right on breezes sent to ease the mind. It seems to speak to me of sunshine still concealing, scattering words across the sky as it's revealing that we belong together to live in love forever. Together deal with love forever. And if it's sorrow that you're feeling, and if tomorrow solid ground, and to always remind about love to find. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now that it's so long you've been away from me, long ways of life spent all in wandering. Somebody speaks to me of good things in due season, although it's slow to move along to find a reason. But I know if we can move together, then we found love forever. Together deal with 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 love. That's thank you. That's a tune called Love Forever. It's gonna be on the new record I'm recording. Hoping to get some old friends to sing on that with me. Play some more new stuff right now. Say everyone should know, you work and get a pay, and that's how life go. When every day the people pray, why must I be so lonely? Listen to the words where the people say, I don't wanna be alone. And every day the people pray, why must I be so lonely? Listen to the words where the people say, I don't wanna be alone. And it's always on their mind, someone to give this love a try. What I think about all the time, tired to weep and moan and cry. Now I'm here to offer so much love to you, and to accept love alone has paid for all the work I do. Whoa, 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 whoa. There is something they say everyone should know. You work and get a pay, but I know so life go. Now when I look inside for things I'm longing for, I've got to wonder if there could be something more. And every day the people pray, why must I be so lonely? Listen to the words where the people say, I don't wanna be alone. And every day the people pray, why must I be so lonely? Listen to the words where the people say, I don't wanna be alone. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's up, James? What's up, Devin? What's up, Joe Quinones? What's up, everyone? Derek, what's up? Hoser, Brian, Carlton, Al, Andrew, Al, Mike, Al, One Love, what's up? What's up, Hal? What's up, everybody? Cheers to everyone. I want to thank everyone who donated last week. I sent all the donations to the Crenshaw Dairy Mart as promised. And this week I'm doing the same thing again. So if you can go to rootfire.net/TV and make a donation, all the donations are going to the Crenshaw Dairy Mart, getting free art supplies into the hands of people in the Watts and South Central Los Angeles communities. It's a great organization. You can check them out at CrenshawDairyMart.com. Yeah, Top Shelf. Let's do it. What's up, Ron? Okay. Oh, and Wheel and Shoulder. Okay, let's play those two. Top Shelf first. How about that? Top Shelf, call it weed, just a ride. Top Shelf, call it weed, free to survive. High grade, call it weed, just a ride. And even the army just stop trouble with. And all the soldier, he's off the slow. The officer live to get wiser. Make all the farmers so marijuana, yes. Since he get free. Yes, cause Sensimilia get free, Lord. Tell them again. Top Shelf, call it weed, just a ride. Top Shelf, call it weed, free up to survive. High grade, call it weed, just a ride. Jail and surrender all the herb vendor. And all the warrior ease off the slow. Every governor call him enforcer. Go tell the farmer for plant up him ganja, yes. Since he get free, yes. Right now, since Emilia get free, Lord. Come on, yes, yes. Hula first, and none of them are last. None of them the days following days roll past. Right now, all of the elders smile to remember. Jail and surrender all the herb vendor. And all the soldier ease off the slow. Officer live to get wiser. Go tell the farmer for sow up in ganja, yes. Since he get free, yeah, yes. Right now, since Emilia get free, Lord. Come on, yes, yes. Since he get free, Lord. Since he get free, since he get free, yeah. Yeah, I gotta learn that last verse. Every time I start playing that song, I realize I forget the last verse. Can someone just remind me how it goes? Where can we see the art coming out of the Dairy Mart? You can go to the website. Do they not have the art up there? I don't know the exact answer to that. I know they are supporting lots of individual artists that come there and do their things. So I imagine they have links on there to some of the artists. I haven't checked out that portion of it, to tell you the absolute truth. All right. This was another request. A song called Wheel and Shoulder off the new record. Yeah, who said that they see? Who said they know how the late stage runnings up go? Men who sit up high get low. Who say that they see and know. Remember when cool water winds blow, carrying a hope for tomorrow. The way you reap, you did so. Remember nothing no goes so now. It's only wheel and shoulder. It's only wheel and shoulder now. It's hungry youth and soldier, and there is no getting over now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The all of every nation crying, I'm saying all night bawling. Do you hear heartbreaking sorrow? No kind of hope for tomorrow now. It's only wheel and shoulder. It's only wheel and shoulder now. It's hungry youth and soldier, and only time getting older now. Whoa, 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 recall and pondering some ways to come over. When out you wandering, ways moving over, and a lot of suffering, poor people drop over, then more struggling, poor people tip over, then just through them shoulder to the wheel every night again. Not through them shoulder to the wheel and the sight again. All kind of love run away from the people then. Mercy gone away from the people then. Not to put sub-zeros together in a line. Now them hungry, belly blind. All of the youths are turned soldier, and there is no getting over now. Still man have to answer again. Who said that they see? Who said they know? How the late stage runnings are go. Men who sit up high get low. Men who moving slick move slow. Remember when cool water winds blow, still carry hope for tomorrow. The way you reap, you did so. Remember nothing no goes on now. Remember nothing no goes on now. Remember nothing never goes on now. Remember nothing never goes on now. He's only wheel and shoulder now. He's only wheel and shoulder now. He's only wheel and shoulder. He's only time getting older. He's hungry youth and soldier. He's only wheel and shoulder. He's only wheel and shoulder. All I see is hungry youth and soldier, and only time getting older. Whoa. Yeah, that's right, James. That's a song that I wrote called Wheel and Shoulder. That'll be on the new record that I'm putting out. That's probably going to be the name of the record, I think. Wheel and Shoulder. Yeah, that's right, Andrew. Put your shoulder to the wheel. That's what that song is. It's a pretty bleak song about if we keep heading the way we're heading, especially in terms of no one seeming to care about the planet and the destruction that we're doing to it. Life is just going to get more and more work and less playtime until it's only wheel and shoulder. And it already is that way for many, many people in the world. Brian says, how long is the donation link up? It's up during the duration of this show, and afterwards too. You can just you can Venmo Rootfire. Um, yeah, send a Venmo to Rootfire, or you can go to rootfire.net/TV, and the PayPal link is there. And I think it lets you, you can put in the memo what it's for. So if you're watching this afterwards and you want to make a donation, just put some kind of note that it's for Devin, and they'll send it to me, and I will send it to the Crenshaw Dairy Mart. So thank you everyone in advance. Thanks, Hal. Thanks, James. I appreciate it. All right. Let's do some more. Take it easy and be careful, 'cause what you do in time could see you through. I said if it take time and be mindful, all the good you do in life lives after you. You could up to you. Just take it easy and be careful. I know all the goodness of a lifetime is in you. Although the time is getting shorter each and every hour, days are getting darker. Hold yourself together now. Try to help each other. Each one keep the other, Lord. Let our teach another out. We won't run for cover now, 'cause this time could be our last time. What a hard time if you don't know what to do. Just take it easy, yeah, and be careful. I know all the good you do in life lives after you. There goes the rainbow away across the sky, and I'm saying, please be careful. How come you won't try to be careful? Remember how you're walking, Lord, also how you're talking in this time. Oh, 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 oh. Although the time is getting shorter each and every hour, yeah, men are getting small. Now hold yourself together now. Try to help each other. Each one not fair and not the other, Lord, Lord. Let our teach another out. We won't run for cover now, 'cause this time could be our last time. Oh, what a hard time careful. All right. Can you play Freedom Train? Yeah, I'll play Freedom Train. Like, the chords on that are almost the same as that last song, so maybe I'll break it up a little bit and play it a little later. But if I forget, please remind me again. I definitely want to play that. Races Run? All right, let's do that. Gladiators. Those are both great tunes. Say you can't stop righteousness, 'cause it will grow from the east to the west. You better take warning, warning. I did get a fresh cut. I had to get a haircut. Yes, that's right, James. I want to say R.I.P. to Hux Brown, the great guitar player, probably the most influential guitar player in my life. He played rhythm on just so much reggae music, starting from the late 60s and the rocksteady era through all the reggae in the 70s, and you know, just like that reggae skank sound, so much of that comes from him rhythmically, and also the tones he was getting. I talked to him once. I met him a couple times, and one time at Sierra Nevada World Music Festival, he was really like kind of laying into me about the kind of guitar to use and what kind of strings to use, and he's like, you gotta, you know, he's like, I see some people playing reggae, you know, as an upstroke. No, it's gotta be a downstroke, and you gotta hit all 6 strings to get that thickness. You can't cheat and just hit like these bottom strings. He was like, I was stoked on my setup, like the Epiphone Casino hollow body I had with like 13 gauge flat wounds, and he was like, it's like, no man, you can't get it with. He's like, no, you can't. Like that guitar is not gonna do it. He's like, you need a thick guitar. And his like scratchy sound that he would achieve, I mean, it's unparalleled. You know, so yeah, he didn't really tell me what to get. He just said, get a thick guitar and use flat wound strings. And so much of it is in your technique. Like so much of reggae music on guitar is in your technique. You know, it's like you got to think about the rhythm guitar as a percussion instrument. Scratchy. All right, what are we doing? Races Run. Big long gonna stand up with love for our nation. Go away, go your races run. Your throne gone down in Babylon. Couldn't make a dead man see. Couldn't work no stone in that region. Go down with your big shotgun. Couldn't turn love that was way from. Love that was way from creation, and built from creation. Oh Lord, no. Say you couldn't build up with one hand alone. You need some good cooperation. Who lay up on your sinking stone, pushing some laws and instruction, Lord. Hey, you couldn't build up with one hand alone. Yes, and I need some good cooperation. Who lay up on your sinking stone, and you couldn't build up so far from home. Good Lord, go away with your big long gun and stand up with love for our nation. Go away, go your races run. Your throne gone down in Babylon. Couldn't make a dead man see. Couldn't work no stone in that region. Go down with your big shot. I know you couldn't turn love that was way from home. One home on creation, so the right be always known. Creation, the older one be cornerstone. Creation, love for a nation. Creation, yes, lots of love for a nation. Creation. nation. Yeah, yeah. No. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa. Bad boys flee before the face of violence. Guess being lost must be profound. Scars when no visit can be ever known. Still won't leave poor folks alone. Yeah. Whoa. Inheritance of the blessed country. Warn people in the heart and still meet treachery. Wisdom where I go. Repair them over confidently. Repair them over confidently. When them over confidently. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Andrew, talk about the lyrics. One of my favorites for Races Run. Man, that song, first of all, caveat for that song, it was written so long ago. That's one of the first Expander songs. Probably wrote it in like, man, it's coming up on like 20 years since I wrote that song. Maybe not quite. It was probably like 2003. Um, I don't really like remember what my headspace was at that time. I remember listening to a lot of, I was listening to a lot of Midnight then. That was like when I was first. So I guess it must have been 2004 then. And just, I used to do a lot of like, I'm a lot more structured with songwriting now, which can be a good thing and sometimes be a bad thing. Back then I used to just like start playing and see what came out. And like, as soon as something that came out that I thought was a good hook or a good lyric, then I would kind of like stop and wheel it back in and work on that. And I think that was one of those tunes that I just kind of like came up with the go away with your big long gun and stand up with love for our nation. Which James says, which region is stone not workable in? The so what are the lyrics? You couldn't make a dead man see. It's the region where the dead man is. It's like you can't, nothing, like people who are just not participating in that vital part of being alive, which is being receptive to others and being open-minded. They're like, in that song I'm referring to them as like a dead person, and in that region where those people are, you can't do anything productive, right? You can't work no stone, you can't build up anything. So I said go away. Anyway, cheers to everybody. What's the meaning behind the horse? The horse is so that song is like all Jamaican proverbs, and that's kind of like a unique song for me, because I never wrote a song the way I wrote that song, which was like, first of all, we needed one more song for hustling culture. Yeah, for sure, James. Thanks, man. We needed one more song for hustling culture, and so that was the last song I wrote. And I was like, all right, I'd always had this idea in the back of my head of like, let me see if there's a website or something that just lists a lot of like Jamaican countryside proverbs, because like I love those sayings. Like, you hear them throughout reggae music, right? Like fire de a moose moose tail, him think a cool breeze, right? Is like when you hear a lot like fire, like a mouse's a moose moose, right? Fire de a moose moose tail, a mouse's tail is on fire, but he thinks it's a cool breeze. Like he's foolish to what's happening. It's like he's missing all the signs and he thinks the opposite is happening. There's so many good sayings. So I was like, let me see if I can find a place where there's a bunch of them listed and just try to write a song like with a bunch of sayings that make sense together. And that's what the horse is, So yeah, so like So Devin says, "Hey, so I was sitting down." Okay, so hold on. So the horse, the lyrics, some of the sayings are. So the hook is, "I know me, not me. I didn't. I know me. I saddled the horse where you are ride. I didn't saddle the horse that you're riding." Right? It's like basically it's like you got yourself into this, and it wasn't me. So that's what that means. And then the verses are like, slack mule follow can trash go a market. Slack mule follow can trash go a market. You know what? I don't know what that means. Like a slack is like someone who's misbehaving. He's like not being upright. He's not being righteous, right? A mule follow can trash. Like I think he'll follow the. I don't know. I don't know what that means. And then deaf pickney as like a child, right? A deaf pickney after run back a shop. Like if your mom tells the kid like, hey, go buy something from the store, go buy some like milk and eggs, and he comes back with milk and forgets the eggs because he was deaf, he wasn't listening, he has to run back and go get it, right? Deaf pickney after run back a shop. Duppy find a bad mind man house fi hunt, which means like a duppy is a ghost, right? And like a ghost will be drawn to the house of a bad-minded man. So if you're someone who's bad-minded, who's not living upright, you're gonna attract that kind of vibe of a ghost. And then what is it? And a wasteful waste is a woeful want. That's pretty self-explanatory, right? Anyway, I hope I did a good job. I kind of outed myself not knowing what some of those lyrics mean. But anyway, that was the intention behind that song. And then, hey, Devin says, I was sitting down trying to figure out the proverb, if you're going to dig a pit, my brother, don't dig one, always dig two. Yeah. So that's like, the culture song the Expanders would do, right? When you're gonna dig a pit, I tell you, my brother, don't dig one, always dig two. What that means is like, if you're gonna dig a pit for someone, meaning like you're gonna try to get someone to, you're gonna set a trap for someone, you're gonna try to make life hard for somebody, right? Dig a pit for them to fall into. Then you better dig one for yourself as well as them, because you are always gonna be the one who suffers from any negative actions that you're trying to inflict on other people, right? So that like if you're gonna set a trap for somebody, you might as well don't set one, set two, set one for that person and for yourself, because you're gonna end up falling in it as well. So that's really what that means. All right, maybe I should play a song. Let's see. I want to play this one. So this is an original that was written back when we were recording the first Expanders record, and we used to play it live a lot. We never recorded it, or we did, but like we didn't like it. And I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna record it for this acoustic album. Probably not the first one that's coming out, but the second one is gonna make it onto. Although now I kind of wish that it had been on this first one, but it's too late. But it's called More and More, and it's really about. I wrote it a long time ago, and forever in this country we've had things in the news about our political leaders being total heartless people towards our brothers and sisters to the South, who are who because of American economic policy and trade agreements have had their homes so fucked up that they have to try to come here, and then we make it hard for them to come here and exist here. And anyway, this song is about that. It's called More and More. More and more every day, me say more and more. More and more every day, come me say more and more. Every day talking, some say this kind of feeling we can't make it work. Some of them I say we can't make it work. While the earth is a yielding, most of the people them starving. The dollar keep moving, moving. We can't make it work. And why our fence keep running, walls still building. Poor people say they're non-stop traveling. The Soldiers say they can't stop firing. Dry bones in the sun stockpiling, yo. More and more. More and more. When they want it, they just steal it. Never bend, never dig, never grow it. Even the big ones who never feels it. Right now, can't say they never know it. When they want it, them a go steal it. They never bend, never dig, say they never grow it. Even the big ones who never feels it. Right now, can't say they never know it. Cause it's a big one, sit up on a mountain, watching the poor crowd through the nation. Fire and flames, trumpets of war coming, say more and more, more. It's another one, I'm forgetting a lot of the lyrics too. Well, every day talking, oh, it's a feeling, this kind of feeling, whoa. We can't make it work. Some of them must say we can't make it work. While all the earth is a yielding, most of the people them starting. Bigger hearts breaking, whoa. No one life taking. And YFMs keep running, walls still building. Poor people say they non-stop traveling. The Minutemen can't stop gathering. Say by day, by night, them following. Oh, while the rich ones sit up on a mountain, watching the poor crowd through the nation. With fire and flames, trumpets of war. For so many tears, so many hearts sore. Them sail every sea, pull up on every shore. Come and say more and more, more and more. Also some more and more and more and more and more and more and more. Yes. Hey, I want to remind everybody that I'm accepting donations at rootfire.net/TV. That's the PayPal link, and also you can just Venmo to Rootfire. And all the donations are going to support the Crenshaw Dairy Mart here in Los Angeles. It's an art institute, art foundation. They give free art kits and art supplies to people in the South Central community and Watts. And it's one of the three CEOs and founders is also one of the three original founders of Black Lives Matter, my friend Patrice Cullors, and she is the one who I hit her up and said I wanted to donate to an organization that she was a part of, and she suggested the Crenshaw Dairy Mart, so that's what we're taking donations for. Thank you. I appreciate everyone saying nice things. Tim, when is the album coming out? I don't know, because it's not quite done yet. It's really almost done. And then I haven't let anybody hear any of it yet, because it's morphed into so many different things that I'm really waiting until it is solidified and I know exactly what it is. And at that point, I'm gonna, hit up some record labels, look into putting it out myself, all the different options. And so once kind of like the details of how it's gonna be released are finalized, then we can deal with when. But all I can say is that this album is definitely happening. It's almost done, and I will keep everybody updated. Shall I play another song from it maybe? Let's see. This is a fun one. There's a lot of kind of heavy songs on the record, but this one is one I have fun with. This is over the Answer rhythm. Lord, you have some mercy. This is the answer to the question, Where them ask me where me get it from. True me never born, me grow in a this. True me never christen, me reason in a this. Cause a little youth say at the age of 10, me have a little brethren where them call Big Ben. Him let off a tape full of roots and culture, carry the words and sound and power of the suffering youth in the ghetto, and it tear down the man like stereo. Me never know what kind of music could I carry you. Me never know what kind of music could I carry you. And when me pick it up, it gone already. Lord, and when me find it, say to hold on steady. He said to throw away your knife, your ratchet and your gun. Live up the right and hold everyone. Kind of love when them roots and culture carry the words and sound and power of the suffering youth in the ghetto. Me never know what kind of music carry love. So, hey, me never born growing at this. True, me never christen, me reason in a this. Cause me trod along, me have to sing a love song. As we trod along, me have to sing a love song. If I were this someone, me say the dance hall gone. Well, it's someone I make the dance hall gone. A heavy roots champion. This is the answer to the old question. Hitting poor people rights. Babylon, you're wrong. Oh gosh, you're wrong. Hitting poor old people rights. Wicked Babylon, me say you're wrong, wrong, wrong. Big request, special dedication to each and everyone. To everyone we make the good ganja run. Right on our foundation selection. Top specialist Studio One. This is the answer to the question, where you get it from. Cause sound carry over the ocean, and it's a carry over the sea, and it carry over hills and mountain into the valley of the ungodly. Look, you know, hey, well, it's I wanna make the dance hall gone. As me chat along, me have to sing a love song. Big request, special dedication. Roots reggae music take over and gone. Cause sound carried over the ocean, and it's a carry over the sea. It sound nice with a fat steak of sense. Lord, I know it's sweeter with a bag of collie right now. Good Lord, you have some mercy. This is the answer to the question. Where them ask me or where me get it from. Yes. The answer. Hello. Hello. Hi, Mom. Aren't you supposed to be at the park with my dog? Wash hands. You want me to wash my hands? Cheers, everybody. Thanks to everybody who's donating. That last song was called The Answer. That will be on the new record. Yeah. You are at the park. Well, get off your phone, Mom. What's up, Ryan? The record is happening. It's almost done. I've been recording it with Roger Rivas. I'm really stoked for you to hear it. It's turning into a really cool record. At first, like, the idea was just kind of like this, like me sitting down and recording some songs, but now my brother is playing banjo and upright bass and some extra guitars on a lot of it. I got some friends singing harmonies. I put some harmonies. I bought, let me stop for a second because I bought, check this out, from the homie Zion Love Sound. I got this amazing kete drum, and so I've put a lot of kete on it. And now it's sounding like a really pretty full album, totally acoustic. There's no electric instruments, but now we got some, it's turning into some heavy bingy on some song. Anyway, I'm stoked on the record. My brother and everyone, and Roger and everyone who's helping me with it have really like made it come alive in a way that I didn't foresee, and in like a totally in an amazing way. I'm stoked. I'm super stoked. So I don't mind speaking so highly of it because most of it is due to the great musicianship of a bunch of other people that I have on the record. Toddy says, thanks, Brian. Toddy says, when do we get to see Patrick again? Well, we've been quarantining ourselves. Patrick came, but then Vanessa and I were going to, a bunch of protests. We went to a protest in LA a little over 2 weeks ago that I had 100,000 people at it. So then we thought maybe it's best that I don't sit in a tiny little room with my brothers, singing songs and getting my molecules all over his face. Luis, what's up, Chukiyanki? Yes, how are you, man? I know the homie makes great drums. It's I forget what kind of wood. I know he makes a lot with eucalyptus. I don't know if this specific one is eucalyptus wood. Um, but it's like the skin is she goat. So sorry, goat, but I like to think the goat was not killed just for the drum, but we used the skin of a goat that would have been killed anyway, is what I hope. All right. What are we gonna do here? Okay, so I was playing this. Yes, there is a day past through great tribulation. Whoa. There is a day past through great sufferation. Whoa, whoa. Blood morning, come with your heart. Blood morning, come with your thought. Blood morning, come with your heart. Blood morning, come with your thought. There will come a day, man will get paid for the wrong thing he has done. There will come a day, where man will get paid for the long road that you run. Blood morning, come with your heart. Blood morning, come with your thought. Blood morning, come with your heart. Blood morning, come with your thought. Come along, come along. Fighting every hour, carry money over in a place money can work. Killing every hour, carry money over in a place money can work. There will come a day, man will get paid for the wrong thing he has done. There will come a day, where man will get paid for the long road that you run. Blood morning, come with your heart. Blood morning, come with your thought. Blood morning, come with your heart. Blood morning, come with your thought. On a bloody morning, come along. On a bloody morning, come along. On a bloody morning, when we get up and walk on the ray of bloody moonlight in the dark. Blood morning, whoa. Blood morning, come along with your thought. Blood morning, whoa, whoa, whoa. Blood morning, come along, come along, come along. Blood Morning. That's an Expander song that you can get on Spotify and all that kind of stuff. I think Rootfire actually still has 7-inch singles of that tune. Cool, James. I remember you telling me that. And I remember you asking, what's a Blood Morning? Which is a very good question. That you found love on your own. You said you can't take it or leave na 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 na. Why make you run out early? Why did you turn so easy, Lord? Why make you run out early? I wanna know why did you start so easy? Remember how you say your legs can't weary. You hold and don't let go. Your foot falls steady. Miles behind you say you tried so many so. Why make you run back home in a hurry? Only from your book you told along the way. Why make you run back home in a hurry? Remember all the little say you used to say. Why make you run out early? Da na 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 na. Da na na da na 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 na. No 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 no. Da na 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 na. For I used to hear you saying I like how certain things go, and I used to hear you saying I like how them big belly grow. Also how your legs can't weary, matter how the rains and storms will blow. Your foot falls steady, miles behind you say you tried so many so. Why make you run back home in a hurry? Why did you stray so on your journey? Why make you run back home in a hurry? We never know you would have bounced so easy. Why make you run out early and run off on your road already? Why make you run out early? Why did you give up on your love so easy? Why make you run back early? I wanna know how come you run from your struggle already. Why make you run out early? And how did you stray from the struggle so easy? Oh, 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 oh. Da na 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 na. Doo. Da na 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 na. Yeah, that's a new song um, called "Run Out Early." That's definitely gonna be. That's one of the ones I'm most stoked on this album I've got coming up. The way it ended up on the recording, I'm really stoked on. I'm really stoked on. Toddy says my son's was Redemption Song, and I swear his first words were "Oh pirates." You can do worse than that. Chukianki. So what is a blood morning? I guess it's time for a Bloody Mary. That's pretty much what it is. It's when you drink so many Bloody Marys and you just have a blood morning the next day. Blood morning. Collected Culture, what's up, bro? Thank you all for being here. Thanks, bro. Dave G. As same with last week, all the donations are going to the Crenshaw Dairy Mart. It's a really crucial organization that gets art supplies into the hands of people in the South Central and Watts community, and they do lots of good things. It's a really important space. It provides an incredibly important not only resource but just area and place for people, and they're really dependent on donations. So last week, everyone's donations made such a difference, and if you could even just now pitch in $5, $20, $100, if someone's balling and really wants to, step it up, like, and if you can only give $1 or 50 cents, anything, would really appreciate it. You can do so at rootfire.net/TV, and the Venmo is Rootfire. Um, yeah, yeah. I'm not the best at explaining my lyrics. It's like a lot of times I think about it the way like maybe like an impressionist artist. If you think about like visual art, that's maybe kind of abstract. It's really representing. And someone says like, "Well, what is that?" It's That's maybe the wrong question. The question is maybe what were you like? Why did that come out? What were you going through when you painted that weird shit? And I feel like lyrics sometimes are like that with me. Like they'll come, and I have a hard time. Like I know what it's about. Like that song is because when you start explaining it, I'm like, well, that song is about like the Armageddon, and when the shit hits the fan, and we all have to really like deal with violence in the streets, and we all have to come together with our hearts and our thoughts, and figure out what the fuck we're gonna do. That doesn't sound as good. It's way better to poetically maybe be kind of cryptic with lyrics, I think, for me anyway. But I think about songwriting that way in general. It's less, and each song is different, but I definitely have some tunes that are not as literal as they are just an expression of a feeling I was having that I'm expressing lyrically and musically. So it's the best I can do with that song. Said I don't wanna be in that evil lost number. Yes, I just wanna be living in the love of the Father forever. Someday, far across the sea, down in the gully back near to the river, I'm gonna sit down under the tree with all my best friends all side of me, beside me. Ba-da-na-na-na, ba-da-da-na-na, ba-da-na-na-na, ba-da-na-na-na. Said I don't wanna be in that evil lost number. Yes, I just wanna be Yes. James, thank you for your donation. What a champ. Gabriella, thank you for your donation. What a champ. Thank you, guys. All right. There was a song I wanted to do that just came in my head. Oh, that's the one that Lionel wants to hear, which is Well Read. This is an Ethiopians tune. Let's see what key is right to do. Read, well read, read, well read, read, I read, everyone now. It's got some highness in it. All right, here we go. My son is 6 months old, and I think it's safe to say this is his favorite song, especially this version, LOL. I play it for him all the time. Are you talking about Evilest Number? That's dope. Thank you. That is, yeah, Evilest Number is the first song on the first Expanders record. And still one of my favorite Expander songs. I really love the way that one came out. It's funny, like I don't know if I've ever told this story, but when we were recording the first record, the studio that we were recording it at one day or one night had a party, and we weren't there. And they had a big party at the studio, and the famous Killian Studios here in LA, where Expanders recorded, the Lions recorded, Oregon, a lot of great LA bands, Simple Citizens. Although they did anyway, they were having a party, and Sergio, my good friend and the owner of the studio and the engineer, he called me up the next day and he was like, "Dev, it's like I don't know how to tell you this, bro, but we were having a party and like the hard drive was plugged in and somebody I know who it was, but I'm not gonna say." Knocked into it and while it was on, and we basically lost like all the vocals you guys have been recording. We lost like 4 or 5 songs worth of vocals for the first record, and I was like really crushed because that record took so long to make, and this was near the end of the process, and I was just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. In the end, it ended up being a good thing. We went back and recorded some of them. I remember Moving Along was one of the songs, and the version that we ended up doing over was actually way better than the first one, so that's cool. But Evilest Number was one of the tunes, and we were never able to get it to sound the same again. So what we ended up doing was the version that made it onto the record that you guys all know is actually a rough mix that Sergio had made like the day we recorded the song, and we all loved it. And we just when we re-recorded the vocals and listened to like a super pro mix of that version, and then the rough mix of the first version, it was just like unanimously we were just like, the first version is way better. So that version of Evilest Number is like a rough mix that really we didn't spend much time on at all. So that's that story. Okay, play Well Read here. Ethiopians. Big up John Butcher, me and him. This is a song we would always sing together, and we will again. Jedi patience, I smoke me pipe. Give me highly, I liquor me pipe. I saw me like it, pass it up, pass it up. I saw me like it, pass it, me red, well red. Red, I said me dread, well dread. Dread, mama, papa, Yes, big up the late great Leonard Dillon. Well read. Cheers, everyone. Let's see, moving along. Is that the request? Yeah, for sure. Since I'm at my parents' house, I remember writing moving along. I came up with that hook in the shower, and like the window was open, so like you could hear me singing in the backyard, and I was like singing it for a little bit, and I remember my mom like afterwards saying like, "What was that song you were singing in the shower?" And I was like, "I don't know. I just kind of came up with it." She was like, "That's a hook. You should write that." And so I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I went and like finished it off. So thank you, Mom, for that one. You probably don't even remember that. Nice to be in the sunshine, moving along. It's alright to be in the sunshine, moving along. With some good friends around me, a old man song, singing along. With some good friends around me, you never do wrong, you never do wrong. Moving along. And you can always ask of me not to leave you lonely. You can always depend on me for the good things only. And if you stay right by my side, I can dash away all my pride and give more thanks and praise all my nights, all my days. You can always ask of me not to leave you lonely. You can always depend on me for the good things only. And if you stay right by my side, yes, and I can dash away all my pride and give all up full ways all my night, every single day. I said it's so nice to be in the sunshine, moving along. It's so right to be in the sunshine, moving along. All the vibes like summer night breezes coming on strong, coming along. And everyone just like all them pleases, never do wrong. Look on you, never do wrong. Moving along, yeah, moving along. Say extra love along the way, Lord, I will say, moving along, moving along, whoa, yeah, whoa. Yes. Another little, I was thinking as I was playing that, recently I found an iPod that had just been kind of like laying in one of my drawers, and it works. And so I was like, I've just had it on shuffle lately, been listening to a bunch of stuff, and a version of that popped up that I probably recorded like the day I wrote it. And it's like a totally different arrangement, like there are different lyrics, and it really tripped me out because like I didn't like remember that I had. It's funny, like you write a song and you like sometimes you write a song and you revise it so much and you work on it and you keep going back and back and back and changing stuff until you're happy with it, and like you do so much work on it and then you like forget that you did that work. Because when I heard that version, I was like, whoa, I don't even remember. Like once I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, now I remember I used to have those other lyrics. But it was crazy to hear, and it's crazy like some of the lyrics that I didn't use, I was like, yeah, maybe I should have used those. Those were pretty good. It's crazy what time does to your brain. Old time saying. Old time something never gone. It's coming back again. Don't you fight it. Old time people say heartache, pick me, heat, rock, stone. Don't you fight it. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. You must obey the one and do what your mom is, so yes, it's true. Don't you fight it. If anything should go wrong, mommy still love you, yes, it suits you. Don't you fight it, don't fight it. Old time something never gone, it's coming back again. Don't you fight it. You must obey the one and do what your mom is, so yes, it's true. Don't you fight it. If anything should go wrong, mommy still love you, yes, it suits you. Don't you fight it, yeah. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Yeah, good one. Old Time Saying by Burning Spear. I happen to have that record right here. That's from his second Studio One album called Rockin' Time. And that's this tune right here. I know it's backwards. Old Time Saying. This is a fucking great record. Luis Chuquionque, you called it. Me and Luis used to listen to Burning Spear constantly. You know, I got into Midnight around 2004, and then like they became my favorite group of all time. But before Midnight, it was like Burning Spear and the Ethiopians I used to listen to just like all the time. Burning Spear, Burning Spear, Burning Spear, like without stop. And definitely those first two Studio One records. Turtle Racing or Christopher Columbus. All right. Mech Widweet. This guitar is not easy to tune, so I might not even try. Whatever. It sounds more Jamaican this way. Shall be there talking when all along that river men can hear the voice of the wicked crying, Lord. Who shall be there talking They have been cut off forever. I know they're bound to suffer. I know they'll never conquer again. They must go down in a quicksand. They never come back again. So long we did a warn them. So who shall be there talking when the righteous ones are singing? Can't hear the voice of the ruler saying love is the master. Though the wicked won't enter, they have been cut off forever. And I know they'll never conquer again. They must go down in a quicksand. They never go back again. So long we did a warn them. They must go down in a quicksand. I know they'll never come back again. So long we did a warn them. Who shall be there talking when the righteous ones are singing? Can hear the voice of the ruler saying love is the master. No, the wicked won't enter. They have been caught off forever. For the deeds I know they'll never conquer again. They must go down in a quicksand. I know they'll never come back again. So long we don't warn them. So long we didn't warn them. So long. The girl says she want come take me to the race. She tell me says she want come take me to the race. She said because me have a big smile on my face. She said because she know where them a whole a little race. But no one in the race and never pick up the pace. Said no one in the race and never pick up the pace. Going off the race, I take first place. When I watch them on the go while them are moving so slow, you know. Turtle racing, turtle racing, turtle racing, turtle racing. Cut to the racing in a session tonight. Cut to the racing, all the money get tight. Watch some of them are crawling, me said some of them are fight. Cut turtle on the left, for me said turtle on the right. Jano said me wonder if it really was right. Every night, every night, every night, every night. I said me hear about the race for a very long time. People gather round and them a drink up their wine. They smoke ice and say them a feel so fine. Them line up all of the racers in a one big line. Them fire up them gun push, but no one a run. Them fire up them gun push, no one a run. We have to give a push on to a little green one. The rest of them a come out, them a sight the first one, you know. Turtle racing, turtle racing, turtle racing, turtle racing. Cut to the racing and we just can't believe. Say one name Jackie and one name Steve. Say one name Adam and the other name Eve. My whoa. Say that the racetrack open at 7:45. You pass up your money and you're going through the gate. You place a little bet, sit down and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. The racers in the race, me said them all hesitate. Drink up your beer and relax up on a crate. Below said that the racing was a perfect date. I wonder if the racing was a little overrated. Cause turtle racing, turtle racing, turtle racing, turtle racing. Cut to the racing and we can't take the races no longer. No, racing, turtle racing, turtle racing, turtle racing, cut through the racing in the session tonight. Cut through the racing, all the money get tight. Watch some of them just suck while I said some of them off for it. Cut through the bundle, the form is a turtle on the right. Channel set up and wonder if it really was right. Every night, whoa, whoa. Yes. I said the pains that I feel. Alright, we'll try that. 808 Hawaii Vibes wants to request Universal Tribulation by Gregory Isaacs. I don't know if I've ever sang this song, but let's try it. It's a beautiful song. Pains that I feel, oh Lord, grieves to be real. I said the pains that I feel, oh Lord, grieves to be real. But not in all, it is a universal tribulation. I feel it and I know it. This is a universal, oh, universal tribulation. Lord, I just couldn't take any more of your bottom blow. I said you're about to blow, yes. It's got me moving slow, slow. A universal tribulation. I feel it as I charge my way. A universal, universal tribulation, Lord. There's more to it, but that's all I know. Good request. All right. Sorry about that fan noise you guys are hearing. It's a very old laptop, and when it gets hot after like 5 minutes, it like blasts the fan, and my microphone picks it up. So everyone just calm down about the fan noise. Jeez. Thank you, everyone. You know, I want to maybe give people a second to donate if you're thinking about doing it and haven't done it yet. All the donations are going to support getting free art supplies into the hands of people in the Watts and South Central LA communities. And you can make your donation at rootfire.net/TV. That's the PayPal link. Or you can Venmo to Rootfire. Really want to say how much I appreciate everybody who's donating, and you know how much I'm asking everybody if you can even give $1 or something. It really means a lot to try to support this organization. Your hens decided to sing along, and they're all out of tune. Hens, I have an issue with hens, but I mean. Oh, wait. Do you know Pagan Pagon? I mean, a little bit. Let's see. system, pagan. Every time you get paid, pagan. Look hijacking, hey. Look hijacking, hey. Every time them jail cards century, 2000 at the end of century. Look hijacking, hey. Look hijacking, hey. I am a thief, is a murderer. Guilty put a license on them trigger finger. Imposter boy is a murderer. Ballad with dreadlock come replace Rasta. In a system pagan. Every time you get paid, pagan. Look hijacking, hey. Look hijacking, hey. Every time them build a separate chapter, the body fragment and divide conquer. Look hijacking, hey. Look hijacking, hey. I know thief is a murderer. Guilty put a license on them trigger finger. Imposter boy is a murderer. Ballad which I'll come replace Rasta. In a system pagan. Every time you get paid, pagan. Every time you get paid, pagan. Whoa. There's like 17 more verses to that song, but that's all that's in my head at the moment. Yeah, big up Von Benjamin, big up Midnight. All right. What do you guys want to hear? Mercy gone and evening coming. Nobody to be sorry for you. Length of days, promise that you made. Things that will fade and all slip away. Dreams of love, strong down in your soul. Joy and happiness you've come to know. Plans you laid, promise that you made. Things that will fade and vanish away, away. As a mist in the morning. Can't say you never get a warning. When eyes behold this final hour. Woe and mercy gone. Eyes behold this final hour. When the evening comes. Were you always waiting on a lesson to be learned by now? You thought somehow, depending on a new leaf to be turned by now, somewhere, somehow. But mercy gone and evening coming, nobody to be sorry for you. Length of days, promise that you made. Things that will fade and all slip away. Dreams of love, strong down in your soul. Joy and happiness you've come to know. Plans you laid, promise that you made. Things that will fade and vanish away. When eyes behold this final hour. Oh, when mercy gone. Eyes behold this final hour. When the evening comes. when the evening comes. Yeah. 808 says, just donated my measly $10 to the cause. There is nothing measly about $10. Can I just tell you? Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it. That means a lot. Johnny Too Bad, I can play that. Derek Morgan, No Dice. I do not know that one. Rachel, thank you very much. That song is called When the Evening Comes that I just played right now. That will be on the new record, and that one's one of the ones I'm really, really stoked on. Like, I like playing that one just like stripped down acoustic like this, but the fuller version on the album is really came together nice. My brother Patrick is playing some sick banjo on it and upright bass. He really nailed like the ska walking bass line. I'm stoked on that one. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that very much. Oh yeah, Devin wanted to hear Too Late, and someone else wanted to hear Too Late. Oh, and Conquering Lion, and Whispering Tongue, and Johnny Too Bad. Okay, cool. I think I'm set up for the rest of the show. Let's do Conquering Lion first. How about that? Why don't we do Whispering Tongue first? We just played some ska. Let's stick with the ska. Stick with the ska. This is another new one. This is going to be on the second record, so this won't be on this upcoming one because I had to space the songs out. But I'm stoked on this one too. If I can remember what song it is that I'm stoked on. Whispering Tongue. Here we go. Say the time has come. Listen to me, everyone. If you have a lying tongue, you soon meet a trigger-happy man with a gun. Then you will know that your works have been rewarded for all the rumor that you started. You have been outsmarted and overcome. It wasn't very long ago you came to me crying, saying that you need someone to lift you from where you'd fallen. How was I to know you were two-faced, wicked-hearted, and all your love had departed, and you outsmarted a simple one? Yes, ever since you was a child, you used to hear this warning. I even tell you all the while. Now look on the tables turning. I was a peaceful man, but look at what you started. You always walk with a whispering tongue. Now you have to run from a chattering gun. Say the time has come. Listen to me, everyone. If you have a lying tongue, you will meet a trigger-happy man with a gun, with a gun, with a gun. Then you will know all your works have been rewarded through all the rumor that you started. You have been outsmarted and overcome. Yeah, ever since you was a child, Lord, you used to hear this warning. I even tell you all the while. Now look how the tables turning. I am a peaceful man, but look at what you started. You always walk with a whispering tongue. Now you have to run from a chattering gun. You always walk with a whispering tongue. Now you have to run from a chattering gun. Yes. for you to say now, too late, or that you wanna come back home. All I've been telling to you now for so long, I can remember, I always remember. Whoa, it's too late, 'cause I've been moving on, searching all around for these pieces of my broken heart. All I've been asking of you for so long is to remember. You couldn't remember. Now you wanna say that you love no other one, and there's no life alone. Whoa, roads you see along, you can't make it on your own. Yesterday I prayed you would say what you're saying, and you look behind for some love to find. It's alright, far off days of a life, they will come around, bringing memories of my broken heart. Then I'll be thinking of you as I walk along, and I remember, I always remember. Oh, it's alright, far off days of a life, they will come around, and if love will linger in my heart, growing for somebody new, someone for me to hold on to. When I remember how you remembered when it's over, that you love no other one, and there's no life alone. Won't road you see along, you can't make it on your own. Yesterday I prayed I would be there on your way, but I've been some time in the place behind. Now you change your mind, but it's too late. It's too late, 'cause you wouldn't come back home. Now it's too late, you have to make it on your own. Too late, and love brings sad things close together. Too late, and love and goodbye last forever. Too late, yes, because you wouldn't come back home. Now it's too late, you have to make it on your own. Too late, yes, I know it hurts when we are close together. Too late, one last time to last forever. So gonna used to tell you that you love me, girl. 'Cause one time gonna used to tell you that I care. So one time gonna used to tell you that I love you, girl. And one time gonna used to tell me how you care. Whoa, it's too late. Yeah, too late. By special request. Thank you, Devin, for singing the harmonies. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks for donating. Like I said, all the proceeds are going to the Crenshaw Dairy Mart, which is an artist foundation here in South Central. please make a donation if you can. It's rootfire.net/TV is the PayPal link. Thank you, Devin. I appreciate that. And the Venmo is Rootfire. I really want to thank everyone who's been donating and everyone who's been tuning in. This Saturday, for the Reggae Pod Clash, we have a crazy, crazy episode. We have Jason Mraz, the Jason Mraz, coming on the Pod Clash this Saturday. He just put out a reggae record, and it's really, really dope. And Jason, to his everlasting credit, donated all the proceeds from this record to Black Lives Matter and different organizations. And I mean, Jason Mraz is like, he's a pop star, you know? So when you talk about proceeds from his album, I mean, I know he donated his $250,000 record advance for the album. He's donating all the money. I mean, that's big time. So, you know, I'm stoked to have Jason on because his new record is dope and he's just obviously an awesome dude. I have never met him, but the reason we have the link for him is that Roger is playing keyboards on the new Jason Mraz reggae album. You know, John Asher and Cheekies from the Expanders are on the record too. Steven from New Kingston is on it. All kinds of guys from the scene. And so tune in this Saturday. We got Jason Mraz with Michael Goldwasser as well, who produced the album and is one of the heads of Easy Star Records and is in Easy Star All Stars. So it's Jason Mraz and Michael Goldwasser this Saturday on the Reggae Pod Clash. Should be a good one. All right, y'all. Cheers. Probably play one more here. I think we said Conquering Lion, right? Aaron's here now. Saying a hero gonna Ethiopia. Them say them overthrow the emperor. In a hero gonna Ethiopia. They say them overthrow the emperor. But he's the king of kings, and you can't conquer the conquering Lion of Judah. He's the elect of God, and you can't conquer the conquering Lion of Judah. So you can talk your talk, some of them are propaganda. Only make I man hold on stronger. Remember in the days of old, that's how we go. All time something come back again. He's the king of kings, and you can't conquer the conquering Lion of Judah. He's the elect of God, and you can't conquer the conquering Lion of Judah. I say yeah. What a war. Yeah, yeah. What a war. Say that's the most ancient language in this world. Start a Ethiopian royal family, said to be older than King George VI, 666,130 years. Can talk, you talk, or some of them are propaganda. Only make I man hold on stronger. Remember in the days of old, that's how we go. All time something come back again. He's the king of kings, and you can't conquer the conquering Lion of Judah. He's the elect of God, and you can't conquer the conquering Lion of Judah. I say yeah. What a war, so we go. Yeah, yeah. What a war, so we go. Oh, bum, 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 bum. Yo, thank you all for tuning in. I'll be back next Tuesday. Don't forget to check out the Reggae Pod Clash this Saturday when our guests are Jason Mraz and Michael Goldwasser of Easy Star Records and the Easy Star All Stars. You have another chance right now to make a donation to the Crenshaw Dairy Mart supporting artists in LA. The donation is at rootfire.net/TV. That's the PayPal link, or you can Venmo Rootfire. If you're watching this retroactively and want to make a donation, send a Venmo to me, Man-Like-Devin, and just tell me what it's for, and I will send it to the Crenshaw Dairy Mart. Thank you all so very much, and I will see you guys this Saturday and then also next Tuesday. Until then, take care of each other, be good to one another, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.